What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dummy. I'm coming at you with another video, and it looks like GoonerGate is starting back up again in a roarous and raucous way, mainly because people need to get that X money. And well, no better way to do that than go out there and try to rile up the internet by saying that, well, all gamers are gooners, and if you like attractive women in scantily clad clothes in your video games, then you're just a gooner and no better than a woke mob.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
For those of you who aren't aware of what this situation is, I will be taking you guys back to December 7th, in which Pirate Nation tweeted out, "Is this what gamers want?" Which it was a simple clip from the First Descendant in which you have a character emoting while wearing a optional skin, and the player decides to angle said camera in a position to look at said character's rumpus. Nothing wrong here. But what this did end up doing was actually igniting a situation that was just so idiotic, ill-informed, and filled with people just full-fledged being hypocritical the entire time, all for the sake of, well, Twitter engagement. And one of these people was none other than Melonie Mack, where she initially started this all off by saying none other than, "Not me, I like attractive characters, but I don't want to play something with naked butts, boobs, or bulges up in my face. I'd feel like a total loser playing something like that." Which, if this is all her stance was, if this was all her position was, that would have been fine, but she decided to keep doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this point and attacking everybody who might like attractive female characters within their video games and might like to do something like this. That is an optional thing. Nobody's forcing you to do this. Nobody's forcing you to be a part of this. Nobody's asking you to. But because you took this stance and you got some pushback, you realized, hey, we could get some money off this, so let's keep running with it, shall we? Some of the things she ended up doing was quote tweeting the dreaded Roberts post, which if you want to go back and know what was in that post, go back to my original GoonerGate video. But she said, "I agree with this take. I've been fighting with y'all against the woke mob turning female characters into and I like characters to look attractive, but I don't want to be lumped in with those pushing for practically softcore prawn and character design. That's degenerate. Curvy female characters like classic Lara Croft, great, but curvy characters almost completely naked doing stripper dances, no thanks. Masculine male characters, awesome, but these mods with Leon Kennedy and Jockstrap, degenerate, no thanks. We can want characters to look good without advocating for porn." Well, I mean, take note of all this. All these things are optional. You don't have to do it. You don't have to be a part of that. Mods are optional. You don't have to install them or connect with them. These are all optional. You're complaining about optional things the entire time. But also, Lara Croft not being attractive or in any way, or something that people like to, oogle at, even in the original version. No, you're wrong, Melonie. But she would continue on saying things like this: "Gamer coomers are the same as gamer alphabet people. Most of them aren't actually gamers. They just want video games as a medium to incorporate their perversion." You see how this started just escalating over and over and over again? I also want you to take note of the dates, December 12th. Actual gamers just want good video games with good gameplay and art without being infested with perversion, regardless of where that comes from. And almost all these coomers have the same profile types as the gamers, just a bunch of prawn on their pages, 2D, 3D, whatever. That's their whole personality, perversion. And some content creators pander to the audience and are too scared to oppose them. Same song and dance as the trans flag and rainbow flag, demanding total submission. Once those of us speaking out now take enough heat, then others will speak up after it's deemed safe to do so. I don't care which side cancels me. I stand with Christ alone. I mean, Jesus hung out with literal prostitutes. I mean, for crying out loud, Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. So, okay. But this is where this whole thing kind of just stopped, because she quit getting clicks on it. She quit getting interaction. And let's be real fair here. People called this for what it truly was. It was satanic panic and puritanicalism racked up to the point that she was attacking gamers and attacking fans of these mediums. But she decided to come back again this week with this post. Responding to Paul Tasty, discussing things like looter shooters and the First Descendant. No real trigger point for this post, but she came out and said, I lost a lot of followers on this topic, but I'm not afraid to speak against perverts, queers, or straight. Queer ideology adds no substance to gaming, and just as saying games based on lustful intent lack substance. Get the perverts out of gaming and just give us good games. Now, this is in reference to the fact that the First Descendant hasn't been really doing so well as of late. It is what it is, but it's still doing just fine. It's just not doing as well. It is a AA game, and it's actually posting decent numbers for a AA game. But because the game isn't doing as well as some other games, she decided to say that it's all because of the lustfulness and the insane cringe and blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, with Melonie Mack and GoonerGate, and especially with GoonerGate 2 Electric Boogaloo, it all rings hollow. It all rings very lackluster, because the reality is Melonie Mack doesn't even have a standard for what is a Gooner game. When it comes to the First Descendant, she knows nothing about the game, as evidenced to a stream she did on December 12th on the quartering, in which she openly says as such.
It's a bunch of Coomers who are mad that I said I didn't.
Oh, I went and defended you, and they're all over my ass, too.
Bro, I swear.
All I said was this one game is Coomer bait, which it is, and they've been spurging out for 2 days.
Oh, yeah, that's what's been my mentions all week. So I muted most of it.
Yeah,
so that's the thing, is they're acting exactly like the troon and gay activists do.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not allowed to disagree with me on this. You have to support it and submit to it, or you're the enemy. It's like, and they will lie and make up things that you never even said. I didn't say to ban that.
That's what they said to me too.
First
Yeah.
Descendant game.
Why do you want to censor it?
I also didn't even say that the game itself was perverted. I thought that that specific dance and skit, I don't know that much about that game, so I don't know. But all I can say is, when the actual post said, is this what gamers want? And it's a girl dancing in a thong with her butt in the camera. I said, no, that's not what I want as a gamer. I don't want to play Coomer games. I don't play Coomer games, and I will not advocate and defend Coomer games.
Yeah.
That's all I said, but they act just like the queer cult.
Like the left.
Oh, you have to, and this is why I think that Aristocratic Utensil said it so eloquently. The reason why they're acting so ferocious about it is because they feel shame, and they're projecting it. It's the same as the gay cult. It's like, they feel shame, so they make you the enemy. You're not even allowed to disagree. It's like, bro, come on.
I white knighted for you, and all I said was, this is Coomer bait. You can enjoy it. That's fine. Just stop pretending it's some sort of high art I need to respect. Play your Coomer games. Have fun. There's nothing wrong with it. Just stop trying to church it up. That's all I said.
Stop trying to pretend like that's the thing, is people trying to pretend. I literally had somebody say, wait, you're saying dancing in a thong is perverted? Wow, you're a prude. It's like, are you serious? In what universe would you not consider a woman dancing in a thong in public to be perverted?
I don't know if these are all people who are fans of this game. I didn't know what it was. But look at this dork. Like, don't disrespect gamers by calling them Gooners or Coomers. I said it's a Coomer game, which it is. Okay, and I don't care.
Right, it is. At least admit it. Admit what you're playing. When you're playing that, like, I don't know what else the game does. Everything I've seen on that game has been cleavage, camel toes, and butt. Like, that's it. So that's all I see on it. That's all I know about it.
Ban it. neither one of us are saying ban it either. But they're always like,
it's
I
not
read
like
your
You have to
mentions.
accept it. You have
Yeah.
to, you know,
That's-
applaud.
they're acting
Yeah.
just like the queers, and that's why I think they're dealing with the same demons, because they're reacting the exact same way. And it's like, bro, at least admit you're playing a Coomer game. They want to be validated in playing a Coomer game.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't
Yeah.
stopping you, but at least admit what you're doing. Just like all this queer cult and stuff. Validate us. I ain't validating no Coomer game. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
It's a Coomer game, and I'm gonna be real about it.
Kind of rings hollow, doesn't it? Because they openly admit they don't know anything about the game. They openly admit that they know nothing about what's going on in the game, but they want you to admit that it's 100% a Gooner game solely based off of an out of context clip in which a gamer is manipulating the camera to look at this while he's emoting the entire time. Wow, that's really evidence that it's a Gooner game. But in the reality, the First Descendant is nothing more than a looter shooter with hero shooter elements tacked onto it, in which you go around fighting aliens with a variety of different characters and character designs. From masculine men in full body armor to, yes, the more scantily clad women and some more provocative outfits. But it's nothing more than a looter shooter / hero shooter game. That's it. But for them to come out here and say it's 100% a Gooner game is laughable, because they also admit they don't know anything about the game.
I don't know that much about that game.
I don't know if these are all people who are fans of this game. I didn't know what it was.
6 a.m. and already the boy ain't right.
But when GoonerGate first started up, I was wanting to do this video, but I decided, nah, let's not, because, well, it was pretty much dying off after the fact. But following this post here from Melonie, I've decided, why don't we do a full deep dive into some of the content that Melonie Mack has actually produced and some of the things that she has said in the past that actually goes counter narrative to the position she is taking right now. And honestly, all you need to do is go to her YouTube channel and do a quick skim through to find some of her initial posts. What about the Marvel Rivals destroys Overwatch 2 post? Because she says some very interesting things in this particular video, in which I am going to start skipping ahead a little bit, but I do want to point out just some interesting points here and there.
Unless you've been living under a rock, if you're a gamer, you have been seeing such a huge rise in the new Marvel Rivals hero shooter, to my understanding. I haven't played it yet because I've been busy with the Soul Reaver remasters.
Wait, you haven't played it yet? And the reason why I'm honestly stopping there for that whole moment in which she is openly saying that she hasn't played it yet or even done anything with it is because that came out again on December the 12th. When we actually come back over here to the video itself, I could scroll right on down here. You see, 1 month ago, I expand December the 12th. The same day, she decided to put this post out. Marvel Rivals is a perfect example that you don't win the culture war by fighting perversion with another perversion. Here, you have feminine female characters and masculine male characters who look good. The game takes itself seriously instead of slutting and man-hoeing the characters up. Happy to see it succeed. I will definitely be playing. Doesn't have any Gooner material in the game at all, guys. Doesn't have it. Despite the fact that you can even take a look at the trailer, and yes, you can see very feminine looking women and very visually appealing outfits. Same with very masculine men and very masculine, strong armaments and outfits as well. But some of the things that people like to also point out about the game are characters like Psylocke. And also characters like the more recently revealed Invisible Woman and her alternate skin.
I want a diamond ring, I want some bracelets and everything. Daddy, you better get the best for me. Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, definitely not Gooner material there. Definitely not slutting anything up over there. Definitely not doing that, Melonie Mack. But again, you openly admitted that you didn't play the game and you know nothing about the game. But all while at the same time, you're admitting stuff like that. You're saying things like,
this is making the characters look really good without making them look like strippers.
Making the characters look really good without making them look like strippers. Again, Psylocke and the recently revealed Invisible Woman skin. Yeah. I'd have to beg to differ, Melonie Mack. But again, you openly admit you didn't play the game. You know nothing about the game, but you're coming out here acting like it's 100% not Gooner material, guys. It's 100% not Gooner material. This is how you do this stuff right without having to pander to the Gooners, without having to do all this, without having to admit all this. And I mean, they're attractive female characters within attractive female outfits. Yeah, they look a little scantily cladded, but guess what? If you're going to take that whole anti-Gooner route, I mean, they're kind of Goonerish. I just have to admit it. I have to call a spade there. By your own standards, that would be Goonerish. By your own standards, they're nothing better than this outfit. So what makes this whole thing bad and those things good? Oh, the sole fact that you know nothing about either of the games without either of the content. Oh, but guys, trust me, it keeps getting better because she decided to keep going on and ultimately admit to saying something she should have never admitted within this video.
As a gamer, this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for that we see on this cover here. We have really cool looking characters that look strong, that have this amazing aesthetically pleasing art design. They look awesome. It makes you want to play as these characters because it's like, wow, they look cool, they look strong. This is a character I'd want to vicariously live through. And this is the balance that I have been trying to talk about for a while now, is that you don't have to own the woke by getting perverted just in the other direction. You're just as bad as them if you get perverted in just because it's straight versus perverted gay. I don't want perversion in games at all, and I'm not advocating for perversion in games at all.
Wait, you won't play perverted games. You refuse to play perverted games. You don't want anything to do with perverted games, no matter if it's woke ideology or the Gooner games, as we will so lovingly keep air quoting right there. Even though, Melonie, honey baby, you played Stellar Blade. I want to see all the pretty Stellar Blade outfits, but I also want them to be a surprise when I play. Oop, I hope there are a bunch to choose from. Not only did she play Stellar Blade, she consistently defended it on multiple occasions, as seen by, again, her YouTube channel, in which you can see Stellar Blade gets censored by Sony, Journal of Hypocrisy, Stellar Blade versus Hades 2 debate. We can scroll down. This game will kill women. Journals are melting down over Stellar Blade. They want her ugly. IGN France cries about Stellar Blade. Eve is too beautiful. This is just some of the instances in which you defended Stellar Blade. You also played it because you famously defended it for having outfits like this. My favorite Stellar Blade outfit I've seen so far. Journos can call this game misogynist all they want. They're retarded. The outfit selection alone are a girl's dream. Oh yes, the outfit selection alone. Outfits that are so very beautiful, stunning, attractive, highly fantastic and amazing. And also, there's definitely none of them that are Gooner bait. Yeah, definitely not Gooner bait there, guys. Nothing's Gooner bait there, and that's definitely not a Gooner game by journal standards. Again, I don't like doing this whole Gooner, and calling things Gooner. But the thing is, Melonie Mack has set the standard. She has attacked people for liking video games that have more provocative dressed characters and more provocative looking characters within it. And because of that, I have to use this Gooner standard and these air quotes Gooner game, in which I have to help point this out to people that her standards don't make sense. You ultimately admit you don't know anything about the First Descendant.
I don't know that much about that game.
but it's 100% a Gooner game by your standards. But at the same time, you're going out there defending things like Marvel Rivals and things like a Stellar Blade. Oh, but don't get me wrong, guys. She doesn't just defend games like Stellar Blade or Marvel Rivals. She also defends games like Lollipop Chainsaw. For those of you who aren't aware of what Lollipop Chainsaw is, this is a game that is very, very fun, very attractive, very beautiful, has some very awesome scenes in it, and also has an achievement in the game that, well, let's let the clip play so you can see.
Alright, so I'm going to show you to get an achievement for looking up this girl's skirt. It's probably the easiest one in the game. Just take your right analog stick and look directly at the sky until it pops. In more way than one.
Boom! Yes! Yes, that's all in the game. But Melonie Mack, when talking about IGN not wanting to review the uncensored version, had this to say about the game.
So Lollipop Chainsaw Repop just dropped a remaster of Lollipop's Chainsaw, completely uncensored from its original release. Now, when you say uncensored, that makes you think, you know, kind of the first thing that pops in your mind, oh, is this a pornographic game? Yes, pornographic. I have to navigate the censor system on here to stay monetized. That is the first thing that will pop in your mind. Oh, this is a Coomer game, right? Well, to my knowledge, Lollipop Chainsaw isn't really so much that. It's just the fact that, oh, here is a character that is attractive and cute and actually looks like a woman.
Wait a minute. Again, I don't like these Gooner standards, but a video game in which you have very obvious moments in which you see her, well, underoos, with an achievement in which you're tasked to try to look at her underoos, isn't a pornographic Gooner game, but the First Descendant, again, a game you know nothing about, is. Kind of see the weirdness here? You kind of see the hypocrisy going on yet? You're seeing the fact that her standards fall flat on its face, and we don't even have to really get into the fact that she viciously defends Tomb Raider. Again, her standard is OG Tomb Raider wasn't like this. It was not a Gooner game. It was never a Gooner game. Nobody ever thought to goon to OG Tomb Raider. Nope, nobody ever went out to the playgrounds and thought that there was a cheat code in all this that ultimately led to people, you know, removing her top so they could see those pixelated boobies. Never happened in the history of Tomb Raider, was never a thing that ever happened. But again, this goes to the all-around point. This goes to every aspect of this. There's no standard. There's nothing here to actually latch on to say that the people pushing this idea that First Descendant's a Gooner game and we need to get all these Gooners out of the gaming industry and pandering to these people is a bad idea. There's no consistency here. You openly defend games like Stellar Blade, Lollipop Chainsaw, Tomb Raider, and in some other instances, I have seen Melonie defend games like Nier Automata and Bayonetta, other games that at one point in time were considered Gooner games. You will openly defend games like that and say that they aren't Gooner games and they're okay and this is prime gaming material here. But when it comes to a game that, again, I've played the clip. You've openly said you know nothing about the game.
I don't know that much about that game.
But at the same time, you want to come out here and openly say, yes, it's 100% a Gooner game and you need to admit it.
It is.
Did
At
I
least
say
admit it. Admit
Yeah.
what you're playing. When you're playing that, like, I don't know what else the game does. Everything I've seen on that game has been cleavage, camel toes, and butt.
No. You have no standards, Melonie. You have zero principles on this point. You want to come out here and proselytize to all of us saying that you're being a good Christian girl, while at the same time defending things that as a Gooner or anybody wants to say Gooners, those games would be considered Gooner games. You want to use this whole mantra. You want to use this whole thing. You want to attack Gooner games while at the same time defending Gooner games. Maybe take a note that nothing that you say actually has validity in it, and nothing that you say actually has any weight to it when you're doing things like this, when I can openly show people that you're a hypocrite and that you have no real standards. But I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Let me get your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.